I too would like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the traditional owners of this country, the Boonwurrung people of the Kulin Nation, and extend that respect to all First Nations people here tonight. It is such a pleasure to be here in this place filled with love for North Melbourne. And one of our own, Ron Barassi, sadly passed away earlier today. And before I give the remarks I prepared for tonight, I just want to say a couple of things about Ron. Ron was a giant of the game, and for a time he was ours. He famously guided us to our first ever AFL-VFL premiership with a win over Hawthorn in 1975. He backed that up with another flag in 1977, this time with a win over Collingwood. In fact, Ron coached the club in 6 grand finals during his 8-year tenure, winning 2, drawing 1 and losing 3. You may recall that the first flag in 1975 came just 3 years after we claimed the wooden spoon. Ron will always be our first premiership coach, and he'll always be a North Melbourne legend. Vale Ronald Dale Barassi. So welcome to all of you. Welcome to the 7 past Syd Barker medalists in the room, as well as our life members, past players and staff, and it's just great to have you all here. Welcome to my fellow directors, the club's partners and sponsors, and in particular our major partner Mazda. 24 years and still going strong. Thank you so much for your support. And if you're in the room tonight and you're not driving a Mazda, I would ask you why not. Welcome to our CEO Jen Watt and the club's executive team. You've led the club through some stormy waters this year, and every one of you has done so with integrity and strength. In particular, Jen, what a first year you've had. I'd like to promise it gets quieter in year 2, but my experience does not bear that out. I reckon you'll be okay though. Welcome to our players. This whole night is about you, so for now I'll stop at welcome. And welcome to your partners and your families. And I particularly want us all to just take a minute to thank partners and families for the incredible support they've provided this year. Welcome to our AFLW girls. I know that there are some of you in the room led by your wonderful captain Emma Carney. A great win last night. There isn't much that makes a drive to Geelong worth it, but that most certainly did. And welcome to the staff. Thank you. Welcome to the staff, volunteers and families across our whole club. I know that this time last year when Clarko was hell-bent on removing walls as part of our push towards one club, we all thought he was crazy. And he turned out to be absolutely right. He also is absolutely crazy. You've all embraced the notion of one club, and although it's had its challenges, I'd say it's brought us closer and firmly put football back where it should be, in the figurative and literal centre of our club. And last, but by no means least, welcome to our members, those of you in the room and those of you online. In a tough year, you joined in record numbers, turned up to games, and you were and are passionate and loud. You are also the best in the league, and it is my absolute privilege to represent you. Tonight, we look back on the year that was. 2023 has had its share of challenges, and I personally won't be sad to see the back of it, but amongst the challenges, there was a fair bit to celebrate too. We began the year with hope in our hearts, a new coach and some new faces, and we kicked off with 2 wins. Oh, happy days. And while the wins disappeared, there's no doubt that across the year there were incremental gains. We were in games for longer, lost by smaller margins, and all in all, we were a more competitive outfit. There was the arrival of Harry Sheezel. He kicked off his career with a 34 disposal game in Perth, and over the year amassed 622 disposals, a record in a debut season, and not bad for a position he'd never played in prior to round 1. And he was a well-deserved 2023 AFL Rising Star winner. And how about George Wardlaw? As an ardent Republican, it's a bit weird to get excited about Harry and George, but there we are. George brought his own special brand of crazy and hair that defies explanation. Then there was Nick Larkey, 71 goals, 3rd place in the Coleman Medal, and named All-Australian for the first time in his career. He's a great footballer. He's a great footballer, and he's also as loyal as they come, a team player full of humility, and to top it off, he signed on till the end of 2029. One of the darker moments of the year came when Clarko stepped down as senior coach to deal with mental and physical health challenges. What Clarko did was brave and it was strong, but what I want to focus on here is the strength of all of our people, from Jen and Todd, Jai and Luke, through to all of our players, coaches and staff, to hold the team and the club together, ensuring that Clarko had the space he needed. In particular, I want to pay tribute to Brett Ratton. Rats, you stepped up and led without hesitation. You and Joe and the entire Ratton family have been immensely important to our club this year, and we owe you all a huge debt of thanks. We are so sad to see you go, and we wish you well for your future. May it be filled with many Japanese maples. And I would be looking at you, Rats, but I can't actually see anyone. While we're on departures, Ben Cunnington and Jack Zeeble, tonight we put an official full stop to North Melbourne Football Club stories, at least for now. You've been all heart and soul for a combined 29 years and 518 games. Ben, Belinda, Jack, Sian, you will always be part of our Shinboner family, and we will miss you. So we go into the off-season with confidence in our ability, in our people and in our future. But let's not kid ourselves. While we began the year 2 from 2, the reality is we only won 3 games. We've got work to do, a lot of work to do. The first time I met Clarko, I asked him why he wanted to coach North. His answer was simple. He wants to win a premiership again, and nothing has changed. Now, while silverware is not easy to come by, with 17 other clubs all trying to do the exact same thing, I'm not interested in what anyone else is doing. I'm interested in what we're doing. At the start of this year, we had 3 areas of focus: culture, environment and people and performance. We've made strong progress on culture and environment, but it's not enough. Being in games for quarters or even halves is not enough. This year, we lost in more ways than I knew was possible, and I can assure you that is enough. We don't need you to be good at what you do, we need you to be outstanding. And if you're already outstanding, then we need you to be elite. And if you think you're already elite, come and talk to me and I'll let you know whether I think you're already elite. And I'm not just talking to our players here, I'm talking to every single person in this club, because working in football is not just a job, and winning a premiership is not just an abstract pipe dream, and there is no magic formula that gets us there, and no silver bullet. Success won't come just because we want it to. It will come from hard work and constant improvement and collaborating and talking and challenging and holding each other accountable and asking every single day, how can we be better? Individuals don't win premierships, teams do. And that's not the 23 named players or the 42 on the list, it's every single one of us. One club, one goal. So tonight, let's put 2023 to bed and all take the break that I suspect everybody badly needs, and make sure you come along and watch the girls in the interim, because they are flying. And when you come back for 2024, be focused, be driven, be impatient and be ready.